Yo, welcome back to another video. Today we are in the Open Gray League, and let's run on a different team. We got the Dewgong, and we got the Charjabug in the Shadow Venusaur paired in the back. Here we have the Dewgong versus this Empoleon. The Empoleon here is gonna be pretty decent against our Dewgong. We're gonna switch out into the Venusaur. We get met with a Talonflame. Talonflame here is gonna be able to have the advantage as it is chunking away at our health. However, we are able to throw a sludge bomb at least for some neutral damage, and then we're gonna be able to throw this frenzy plant. We do get a shield out of that situation, so that is huge because we have the shield advantage now. We're gonna go back into our Dewgong. We're gonna be able to tank all the moves. They end up having the fly, so fly Talonflame is a little bit easier to deal with as they don't have the potential Brave Bird. So another fly goes through, takes us into the red, and we're looking for the farm down. We need to the farm down right there. Two shields versus their backline. We do see the shift tree, I believe. Yeah, one shift tree right there. We do a huge amount of damage with our Dewgong. Not only do we get the super effective move, but we also get the debuff. So here we're just going to do an easy shield and then force them to switch out into their Empoleon. Empoleon here has to call a decision. Are we going to bait or are we going to go for the discharge? We go for the discharge. They end up thinking it's the bait. Huge damage goes through. This is going to prompt us to throw this shield up, and we do get the farm down. All we have to do now is get to 2x scissors. We can survive all the moves from the shift tree. They end up having the Leaf Blade, and we are able to farm down with just our Volt Switches. But we were going to be able to get to 2x scissors anyway, so that is GG's. Next game, let's see what we find. So it is a Dewgong Charjabug core, and then we're throwing the Venusaur just to do a little bit more damage towards the backline. Here we got a fantastic lead, expecting them to switch out. They do switch out into the Toxapex, so we have the Chargerbug for this situation. Chargerbug here, pretty tanky, as it's going to be able to tank one of these moves. So we're going to throw this discharge here. They actually throw the brine. The brine, unfortunately, wouldn't have done that much damage. However, it does pressure them to get to another move here. Anticipating another brine, so we do let this one go. And now we're going to be able to farm down because they did allow that discharge to go through. We have a ton of energy on this Chargerbug to throw right back at this Dragonair. So one X Scissor goes through, gets a shield. We have another X Scissor. Making sure we throw back to back. We're not going to be able to get to another move. So 2 X Scissors goes through, gets this Dragonair into the yellow, not bad. We have our Dewgong. They switch out immediately into the Carbine. Luckily, we do have a Shadow Venusaur. All we have to do here is shield this first one because it's going to be the Rock Slide. And then we're going to farm up to double Frenzy, or 100 energy actually, past double Frenzy Plants. But if they shield this first one, we're going to have another Frenzy Plant ready for them. But they decide that is enough. They let the Frenzy Plant go through. We have another Frenzy Plant to throw right back at this Dragonair. This Dragonair is definitely going to shield here. But now it's over because they have no shields. And we have a Dewgong doing super effective damage towards this Shadow Dragonair. Shadow Dragonair, not the tankiest, but able to do some good neutral damage right there. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that with the Dewgong cleaning up. So, next game, let's see what we find. The team is pretty decent for now. Obviously, we don't want to see some of the fire types in the back. So we got to watch out for that. Here we go. We got the Dewgong versus the Mandibuzz. Pretty good right here. This Mandibuzz is trying to match up against our Venusaur. So we're going to use our Venusaur as our switch. They switch into their Jellicent. This Venusaur is able to get to this Frenzy Plant pretty quickly here. This is going to get a KO or a shield. Our opponent does realize that, and now we have a decision made. Are we going to go for the shield or let it go? We decide this is going to be the Shadow Ball, and we do shield the correct move. And now all we have to do is throw this next Frenzy Plant on really good timing. This next Frenzy Plant will get the second shield or get the KO. So they do decide to let it go. We still maintain alignment. They have the Shiny Trevenant in the back, though. Shiny Trevenant looking very cool, but it's going to have to tank a Shadow Sludge Bomb. But they decide they are not going to allow that to go through. They decide to go for the farm now. So we know Trevenant here has a ton of energy. And let's see what we end up doing here. We're going to let this first Seed Bomb go through. Are we going to be able to get to another Icy Wind? Looks like we have to shield in order to get to it. Our opponent here does switch out into their Mandibuzz. Luckily, we do have this Charjabug for this Mandibuzz. This Chargerbug is going to be able to do super effective discharge right here. We're gonna throw 2 Volt Switches here and then throw this Discharge, as this Discharge doesn't quite KO anyways, and we know that we can survive this next move, I believe. This next Foul Play takes us into the red. We're looking for the farm down or get the KO. We actually are okay with this because now we do not allow them to get any farm, and now we have our own Dewgong to farm down their Mana Buzz, and that allows us to have a move ready to go. So GG's to our opponent, able to win that game with the Chargerbug backline and the Dewgong cleaning up. Next game, let's see what we find. So not bad so far. This team is working out. It is catching some pretty good leads as well. And luckily, Charjabug or Venusaur is pretty good for any other switches. Okay, we got the Quagsire. Quagsire versus the Dewgong here. Obviously got to watch out for potential Stone Edge, but we have the Venusaur for this Quagsire. We do end up throwing the shield, and they actually bait with the Aqua Tail. So interesting right now. Potentially Aqua Tail and Stone Edge. We don't know. We're gonna throw the Icy Wind to debuff their attack. We're not gonna show the second one. And now they reveal that they have the Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb is not gonna be enough to take out the Dewgong, so we can safely allow these next moves to go through. They actually go for another Aqua Tail bait. We're gonna throw this Icy Wind on really good timing. In fact, we're gonna undercharge here because we know now that we can farm down without taking a lot of damage. They actually throw another Aqua Tail right here to get our Dewgong into the yellow. Here we do see, what is that, a Talonflame? Talonflame comes through. We're going to throw Icy Wind, debuff their attack, and then switch into our Chargerbug. Chargerbug here, can I survive a lane charge at this range? The answer is yes. And then we are not going to have enough time to throw in another Volt Switch because we would get KO'd. So we're going to have to throw that move and then chip away. So we do register the Volt Switch, but we get KO'd as soon as we were going to be able to throw that move. So this Talonflame here is wrecking havoc right now, able to survive. Now they're going to throw a Fly to take out our Dewgong, and then we farm down with the Venusaur. Let's see if we're going to be able to win. Oh, unfortunately, ends up being the Chargerbug in the back. Chargerbug is going to be able to beat this Venusaur, unfortunately, because we don't have that much of energy advantage, and one Sludge Bomb does not KO. They can throw X Scissors right here because our Shadow is going to be enough, so this is all but over. Unfortunately, that Talonflame, like we discussed earlier, Fire types, kind of a problem. In hindsight, maybe we should have either switched out immediately into the Chargerbug or try to throw 2 Icy Winds at that Talonflame, but it is what it is. It ended up being pretty close, considering all things. All right, next game, let's see what we find. We got the Dewgong versus the Whiscash. They switch out immediately into the Poliwrath. So we're going to switch out into our Chargerbug, doing some super effective fast moves. We're just going to go for the Discharge here. This Discharge does get a shield from our opponent. We're going to have to either shield or tank this move. Ends up being the Skull. That's a huge Skull that goes through. And because we let that Skull go through there, able to farm down our Chargerbug. So that was rough. That was rough. So now they are able to flip the switch, and we're going to have to use this Dewgong here so that we can tank some moves. We know that we can resist all of the charge moves, but these fast moves here are absolutely destroying our health. We're going to go for this Icy Wind. We don't quite take it out, but we do get 1 extra farm. Anticipating for them to use their last counter. Okay. Oh, wow. Unfortunately, not the backline we want to see. Skarmory obviously is really good against our Venusaur here. So this is all but over, unfortunately. Not going to be able to take out this Shadow Skarmory, even though we have 2 shields. You can see these Steel Winds coming through are still doing some good damage, and we're just not going to be able to get to a third Frenzy Blast. So GG's to our opponent. Obviously, in hindsight, we should have maintained alignment and shielded that Poliwrath to try to win the switch, but it is what it is. Sometimes you make the right call, and sometimes you don't. And if I didn't do that, I could have considered using my Venusaur on their Poliwrath for more shield pressure, but then we would have to worry about an Icy Wind. So check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.